Once upon a time, in a small, vibrant village nestled at the edge of a vast forest, there lived a young girl named Fizza. The village thrived because of the forest. The trees provided shade, fruit, and wood, and the air was always fresh and filled with the sweet scent of flowers. At the heart of the forest stood a magnificent old tree, known as the Tree of Life. This tree was the oldest and tallest in the forest, and it was said that the entire forest was connected through its roots. The villagers believed that as long as the Tree of Life stood, the forest would remain healthy and the village would prosper. One day, a woodcutter from a far-off land arrived in the village. He saw the tall, sturdy trees and thought about the great wealth he could gain from cutting them down. The villagers were tempted by the promise of riches and began to cut down trees, including the small saplings. They believed that they could replant the forest later and still have their riches. Fizza loved the forest dearly and was deeply troubled by this. She tried to convince the villagers that cutting down the trees, especially the Tree of Life, would bring harm to the forest and the village. But her words fell on deaf ears, as the allure of immediate wealth overshadowed the wisdom of preserving nature. One day, the woodcutter decided to cut down the Tree of Life itself. Fizza rushed to stop him, pleading with all her heart. She told the story of how the Tree of Life was the protector of the forest, how its roots spread far and wide, nurturing all the other trees and plants. But the woodcutter and the villagers were too focused on the immediate benefits to listen. As the woodcutter struck the first blow, the ground began to shake. The sky darkened, and a strong wind started to blow. The villagers felt a deep sadness and realized they had made a grave mistake. The forest began to wither, and the animals that lived there started to leave. The village, once filled with the songs of birds and the rustle of leaves, became silent and dull. Fizza continued to speak up, urging the villagers to stop the destruction and to replant the trees. With heavy hearts, the villagers finally understood the importance of the trees and the balance they brought to their lives. They decided to replant the forest, nurturing each sapling with care. Over time, the forest began to recover, and the Tree of Life, though wounded, stood tall again, symbolizing resilience and the interconnection of all life. The villagers learned a valuable lesson. The forest was not just a source of material wealth but a vital part of their community and well-being. Moral of the story: trees are vital to our environment and our well-being. Cutting them down for short-term gains can lead to long-term losses. It's important to protect and nurture our natural resources, ensuring that we leave a healthy environment for future generations.